Hi, it's Chris from Epic Systems again. This is a video all about how to bulk upload supplier prices into the system. So if your supplier sends you a spreadsheet, say, of a catalogue of product codes and the current price list for those, then you can import that price list into the system now in bulk using our bulk supplier price importer. And in order to do that, you'll need to populate a spreadsheet file saved as a CSV in a particular format. So this video is all about the format that you need to put those into in order to successfully upload them into the system. Now the format that's required to upload is on screen now, and that's the 5 or 6 columns that you need depending on whether you've got the products set up in the system already. So we'll begin here on the left with the first column, which is product alpha. Now the product alpha is the part code as it is set up in your system at the moment. Or if the product isn't set up and it's brand new, it's the product alpha or the product reference that you want to give this new product. So let's begin with one that we know exists, and we can find this by going to our system into the purchase order entry screen. So I'm going to search in here now in the order lines for a condensing boiler. And we can see here on the left hand side of those search results we've got CS120. That's the product alpha or the part reference. So if we were updating the supplier price for this product, we'd pop that in on our spreadsheet. So the next column is the sup.alpha. That's the supplier's reference as it's set up in your system. So in order to set that, or to know where that is, again from our purchase order screen, if we go into the supplier field and start typing the name of the supplier whose product this relates, over on the right hand side here of our supplier search results you can see STRA01. That's this supplier's reference. So again we'll pop that in on our spreadsheet. Now the next column along, the cost, this is the supplier's rate or the new price for this product. So whatever is on the supplier's spreadsheet or list of prices, that's what goes in here. Now the next two columns, the new part and the new part UOM, this is if the product doesn't exist in the system at the moment. So if this product was brand new and didn't appear on the system, you'd need to provide the description for what that is and also the unit of measure, so whether it be a item, each, kilogram, that kind of thing. I'll cover an example for that one later on. The final column is the sup alpha. Now that is where the supplier has their own reference or perhaps their own catalogue number for this product. So back here in column A, we've popped in there what our system knows that to be, the product as it's set up in MARKUS. This would be the catalogue number for the supplier. So if they have a reference that uniquely identifies their products that's different to this, you would pop that in here. So here's a slightly more complete version of the importer where I've added a couple of extra lines. So what we're looking at right now, we've got our first row here which has got the product code that we are updating as described just earlier, and we've got two items here for the same supplier where they are new items that don't exist in the system at the moment. So the unit of measure, the 2 here, this piece of text you would need to take from the unit of measure field within the system. So again, back on the PO entry screen, if we click on the question mark next to the unit of measure field, we can see down the right hand side the reference for each of the items that you can put in there. So that reference is what would go in our template spreadsheet. And again, the sup alpha is what the supplier class this product as within their own catalogue. So once you've finished filling in your spreadsheet, you need to save that as a CSV file, and that gets saved somewhere where you can find it easily on your computer. So back on our dashboard here, we've got the dashboard widget for uploading spreadsheets of data to the system. One of the items that you can choose from the import processes is the supplier price importer. So you'll need to add this dashboard widget to your dashboard in order to do that, and there is a separate video on personalizing your dashboard if you need it. Very simply, we would choose our file using the link here, browsing for the file we've just saved. Then we choose the supplier price importer from the drop down list, and then we simply press upload. Now the system will go away and import your spreadsheet, and the message that you'll get on the screen will tell you what has been processed. So in our case here, we inserted 2 new parts and we updated 3 supplier prices. So I'll just reload our spreadsheet so we can see there were 3 supplier prices, that's these 3 items, but where 2 items were created as parts. And so now if we go to the setup menu and choose supplier prices, and we select the name of our supplier and then the active prices only, if we now press search, if I load our spreadsheet just below so we can see, what we'll now see on our report here, the items that were added, these 2 part codes at the top there were added, and we also added in the updated price for the condensing boiler. Now of course, if you're doing this frequently, you could send the template format over to your suppliers with some of the key information already filled in and have them populate the part code, the references and so on with their data, and that will save you a bit of time. But you can just copy and paste items from their spreadsheets and pop them into our template format and import them using this dashboard widget. As is often the case with these tasks, it's often worthwhile trying this for the first time on your test system. So if you do want your test system repopulating with some live data, do give us a shout and we can do that for you very quickly. And of course, as ever, any questions you have at all regarding anything you've just seen, don't hesitate to give us a shout.